Which one?
Aha. Haya, stamina bado niko nayo na wanajeshi hapana ishiwa nguvu. Leta jembe. Aha. I'm planting this tree to commemorate the tarehe 6 of the 41st year of celebration which was held here in Mbale, and also restoring the environment as directed by His Excellency the President and Commander in Chief. Asante.
Thank you.
Our weather patterns have become erratic. They are not certain. They are not as certain as they used to be those days. Why? Because of climate change. And one of the reasons why climate change is occurring is because of the degradation, the rampant cutting of trees. We have cut the trees in the hills, we have cut the trees in the lowlands for different reasons, for charcoal, for agriculture, for construction, but then the rate at which we are replacing is not as high as the rate at which we are cutting the trees. And sometimes also we try and make efforts to plant, but unfortunately we don't grow these trees. You know, cutting a tree is just something simple. You bring a power saw. Nowadays we are using power saws. In just a few seconds or minutes, a very huge tree has gone down. And this huge tree has been grown for many, many years, unfortunately. So we need to make sure that we plant the trees and also look after them, we grow them so that we benefit from them. These trees take in carbon. They take in carbon dioxide. When you see a tree as big as this, or even bigger, that is all carbon dioxide that has been taken in. So the more trees we grow, the more carbon dioxide we take out of our environment, and that is good. So
once we have trees, the trees will take out the carbon dioxide that we remove from our bodies. But at the same time, they also bring out the oxygen that we need more to inhale for us to be able to survive. And that is one key thing. Then the other one is that we are having fruits where we are surviving, getting water that is given some kind of scent, and we assume we are taking juice, when in actual sense it's just water mixed with some things. Sometimes that are causing us trouble, especially with the kind of diseases that we are getting currently. Here we are having very fresh fruits. So economically, we're also trying to solve a problem where earnings are also a problem within our families. So as we sort out the issue that we are protecting our environment, we are at the same time availing way of economic empowerment to our communities. And I think for me that is very, very good. And the gesture is good. I think where to go is really to have the fruit trees that I'm very sure the owners and the ones who are planting them will jealously guard them. Gone are the days when we used to have wild fruits where you would just go in any plantation and pick anything you want. Currently, they are really highly protected. So in doing so, we also protect the environment. Of course, we've been hit because of our, way of tampering with the environment. We've left the soils bare and the whole surface bare, that when water comes from up there with speed, there is nothing to check the speed that is flowing at. So in most cases, the houses that will check the speed, and when the houses check the speed, then it will go with whatever is inside there.
We have really suffered the kiboko the Almighty is giving us because of tampering with the environment. Because you remember when I grew up, or Mr. Odunya, you can bear witness, you could not see that any stone on that mountain when we grew up. Oh, the mountain was covered with the forest cover. Even the soil was having a very good vegetation covering it. That's why even if it rained at that time, you could not see water changing color. Immediately it rains, water sinks, it is sealed, it is sealed. The water that comes out is quite like this paper. At that time is the reason when we even said, if you don't have a sweater at that time here, or a coat like this one, you could not survive. But for us now, even putting this one, we are feeling uneasy because we have destroyed the environment. So basing on that, we should understand that there is something wrong we did on the environment, like His Excellency the President has been telling us. We undressed our mother and we showed her nakedness. That's why we are being punished. So I want to stand here to appreciate UPDF and all those organizations working with you to ensure we get trees to plant, and also inform you that it is now a presidential directive that the environment is protected and restored. That's why I want to appeal to you, environment officer, you be on the lead to ensure you go and enforce this directive. For us, we are there to ensure it is enforced. By the pointers, the people who are in the lead are you, environmental officers, and also environmental policies there. Where you get stuck, please contact us. The grace period of working in a wetland ended because you remember when a certain garden was slashed in the north there. Our minister guided us and said, okay, if they had planted rice, but it is maturing, give them the last chance. And we gave everybody last chance. So anybody now tampering with bringing a seed bed, I've already invited for you. You are delaying, telling me you don't have money to slash. I've contracted somebody for you, whom I'm going to introduce to you today. Be with him, with the environmental police. Ask the district police command of Northern to give you security so that by morning tomorrow, those things are slashed. I saw somebody that is requesting RCC to allow him. Really, the president has commanded that we restore. Then you say, I also stand here that I'm approving somebody to go and destroy environment. No, I cannot. I don't have those powers to authorize anybody to go and destroy environment. I'm here to ensure the presidential directive is enforced.
Right now we are planting seed trees. When these trees grow, the avocado, the mangoes, the jackfruit, the guavas, we are going to eat these fruits, which give us nutrients in our bodies, but also act as windbreakers. They also moderate our climate. Recently we had floods in Bali because we have destroyed our environment. So we are trying to restore, to protect our environment so that we live in a better environment.
I'm a representative from A Million Trees International in partnership with A Million Trees Uganda under the initiative Greening Uganda. We have partnered with Uganda UPDF to promote ecosystem restoration in the Elgon sub-region. There's a lot that has been happening. Right now we are already facing the negative effects of climate change. We are being faced by environmental catastrophe. There's a lot of floods that happened in the previous rainy season. A lot of people lost their lives. They lost livestock. Most of them have been permanently displaced. So through this initiative, we want to plant trees to conserve the environment. How? When we plant the trees will help us to conserve this environment because the trees help combat climate change, because they absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and they release oxygen to purify the air. The trees help in flood control and riverbank restoration. So some of the trees are also food trees or fruit trees. So they will help to at least cover food security needs that we need in this region.
What is your target?
Our target is to at least plant 50,000 trees in the Elgon sub-region. To plant and grow and monitor, yes, in partnership with UPDF.
We are here launching a follow-up activity in the commemoration of the 41st Karesita Army Week that was held in Elgon Region. And the reason we are doing this is to extend our support, our service, and our effort towards ensuring that we engage and partner with local governments and communities in terms of promotion of environmental conservation and the desired ecosystem in this greater Elgon region. Activity is just one of those that we are undertaking. We have started with the 5,000 fruit tree seedlings, and more seedlings will be coming in the near future to cover the other Elgon parts.
What is the target for the Elgon part?
The target is quite a big one, although we have not harmonized the statistics as per the seedlings number, but we are looking at the first phase like this one, having Manafa, Mbale City, Mbale District being covered, and the target group in this area of interest is schools, government entities, and the organized communities for this matter. And therefore, in the next second phase, we shall also bring on board other target groups to cover the most vulnerable and prone areas of Elgon that serve a lot in terms of land or soil or mud erosion or land degradation.